Hey everyone, can you hear me? I'm going to turn up the mic. All right. No, Pepper, I did not upload those. Let me see. I think these are the 4 that I haven't done. Let me check the folder. You guys can watch me do office work. It makes for great TV. Let's see. What was the last one I did here? Fingerpicking 6 was which one? Okay, so I've got the right one. So let me see. I might be able to, maybe I can do this while I talk. My scanner right here, because it's not, it was over in the other office for a couple weeks. Oh, I touched my face already. You guys get to take a sip already. I just have to save these individually so that I can, rather than one PDF, I save them individually. There we go. Scan. Scan. All right. So let me turn on the light. And then I also have this light if I need it. So today I think we're going to try to start integrate, so normally if you were taking lessons from me, if I were still teaching, we would probably do 1 or 2 finger picking patterns, and then you'd have a week to practice it. So I think we've done 10. And so, let's see, I got to flip this, boom. All right. Save as a PDF. This would be finger picking pattern number. Finger picking, it was, what did I say? 6. So this would be 7. All right. And then right in the folder with all the live stream stuff. You guys see those pictures of Abbey Road Studio? Pretty cool, huh? I mean, that was just like Mecca for me. I'd seen all of those. So I had so many books. Oh, I can open up. That helps. I can open. Hey, pants confirmed. All right, so this is done. Close, clear. Yes. All right. Next one. So the next one we did after this was this one. All right. Again, you're watching me do office work. Guitar stand has very nice. Oh, yes, the ultimate support stands are great. I really like them. I think they might be a little bit more expensive than, but I don't like the kind you set and it cradles the bottom of the guitar. I don't like those because the guitar can fall out of these. It would take a lot for the guitar to fall out of this stand. So I have 4 of these in here. And again, I don't get the ones with the little cradles at the bottom. You can get them with a little lip down there, but Brill Cream, I know it looks like Brill. No, I finally took a shower. It was like, oh man, I haven't taken a shower forever. And then when I ran my favorite gel through the, okay, now let's see, my favorite gel through my hair, it just looked like this. And I went, whatever. Okay, so it gets easier now that I've already chosen the folder. Fingerpicking 8, save, and then close, clear, yes. All right. And then let's see. I guess we did this one next. Yeah. So then the 2 we did yesterday. Let's see. Bonnie got first. Yeah, I gotta lose some weight too. I think is everyone gaining weight too? It's just, I mean, I'm trying to do the walking thing and I feel like I'm eating healthy, but just gaining weight. I'm not digging that. So we're gonna start. It's not Saturday night yet. Yeah, exactly, Ed. No. Now maybe what I'll do is I haven't taken a walk today. It's going to be 90 something today, and so probably if I take a walk today. Oh, you're losing weight? Great. I started out losing weight because I think I had the coronavirus. So I had no appetite. I lost like 15 pounds. And I had that thing they call fizzing, well, it was called that afterwards. I had this weird feeling in my chest up here, but it felt like it wasn't in my chest. It felt like it was under my skin, like the muscles were going like this. They were like, blah, 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 blah. Screenshot. So, and so I was like weird. And then I had lower intestinal issues. And also, what were the other symptoms I had? No appetite. Oh, I had a 99-degree fever, like under 100, but 100-degree, 99-degree fever for like a week. And I had zero energy. I've had anemia before, and it felt just like that. And so that was, also, so it was all weird. And it was right after my son, Alex, had a horrible cough and high fever and had just been up in Washington. And this was all before it happened. You guys told me all about, saw before it was like a big thing. So we'll see. Susan, you're trying to change from baking to learning how to play guitar. Yeah, I wish I could bake. Although baking in 100-degree weather is not very much fun. We're having pasta salad tonight for dinner out by the pool. So let's see. Ed, okay, so let me say hi to everybody. Pepper, yeah, but the nice thing, where you are, Pepper, if it's 90 degrees, it's miserable. Here, it's like you get in the shade, it's 75. It's like, or 80 degrees. It's a lot cooler in the shade. You get in the sun, it could be 100. There's no humidity, so it's totally easy. Where did I put what? My candy came in the mail, so that is, Pepper, I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm just saving them to a folder now, the figure picking things. I'll put them in the Discord. Let me do an invite to the Discord for everybody. I'm still not sure. This is the correct, Verdi, this is the correct invite. Or am I not inviting? Okay, let's see. Copy. Well, that says invite. Hey, Verdi, in the Discord, can you put the link in the Discord right now so I can copy and paste it, just so I'm doing the right one? Or have I been doing the right one all along? Where are you? Yeah, I've got one more of these to scan. I'm multitasking here. This is pretty typical for me, though. I love it when all of my computers are doing my bidding at the same time. I've got things bouncing over here and things uploading here, and that's like I'm the master of my universe when all that's happening. So, all right, one more scan, close. So today we're gonna try to. Oh shoot! I did this. Did I do this wrong? We'll see. Today we're gonna try to do some Travis. We're gonna work towards a Travis pattern, and I'll play that in just a second. Oh yeah. Let's see. Hey Dennis, Bonnie, Frankie, Keith, Diane, Bruce. Bruce, what type of music do you want to play? Acoustic guitar is common in some types, electric and other types. Yes. Oh, is Keith up there asking a question? Oh, Tom Keith is new and has a question. Sorry, Keith. If you're new, I'm just going to ignore you. No, I'm kidding. First time here, nothing to play. Any advice? Yeah, exactly. Bruce is like, depends on what kind of style of music you want. I find that if you learn, let's see. I can see if we can delete this, clear that. Oh, it cleared both of them. Okay, do it again. Especially if you have a taste in music, if you're 7 or 8 or 9 years old, fell on the keyboard, made a big noise. Everybody's like, what happened? Sounds like an explosion in California. Like I said, when I was teaching grade school kids, typically I would use some kind of guitar method that would get them reading music, which is a cool thing, but it would basically not, it would just be Mary Had a Little Lamb type songs. But for an adult who has taste in music, you want motivation, and being able to play Mary Had a Little Lamb is not exactly something that's going to propel you into guitar greatness. And so you need motivation. And there's a lot of things you can do to motivate yourself. If that video I did, 7 Tips for Older Beginners, talks about a few things that you can do that will. Okay. Close. All right. I can quit this. All right. So now I've got everything scanned. And I'm going to check and see if Verdi, did you post in there? Okay. Let me get down here, catch up on this chat. No, there's still an invite there, Verdi, but I just want to make sure if this is the right one. I'll go ahead and post it. It just says invite people, and I'm not sure if that's just inviting people to Discord or if it's. Here we go. That's the one. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Discord and I'm going to upload, and then somebody else can kind of put them in the folder. I don't know, but I'm uploading four different PDFs of the last four. Okay, there we go. Okay, the last four finger picking patterns. So they're all up there now. Okay, and how about wagon wheel? Okay, there we go. So I think we're good. If you want to, you can click on that. So Keith, acoustic. Yeah, I mean, we've been learning. The thing is about like so many songs there's so many simple songs. There's a billion songs that just have 4 chords. So if you can learn 4 chords, you can often play most any song. Or if you learn, let's say you learn 5 or 6 chords in a key. Now there isn't a key that we could do. Let's see, C would be the 1 chord would be C, D minor, E minor, F is a bar chord, G, and A minor. So even in the key of C, we're going to have 1 bar chord. If we're in the key of D, say in the key of G, the 1 chord is open, A minor is open, but B minor is a bar chord. And that's the 3 chord. The 4 chord is C, and the 5 chord is D, and the 6 chord is E minor. So G, oftentimes, a lot of people will take the key of G, learn the chords in the key of G, and then they'll just move the capo around. So if the song's in B flat and they can break the song down into numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, 1, 6, 4, 5. And even the most complex songs can often be broken down into major and minor chords. Now there might be some weird chords that don't fit in the key, and you have to learn those. But you can start out by learning some chords in like the key of C, key of G. Let's see. Did I do videos on that? I don't. What was my? See, like chords in the key of G. I know I've done Digging Deeper in the. Digging Deeper series, which just talks about the individual chords. I have that. I'll post that here. That's one where I kind of go, okay. And that was one where the first one was Digging Deeper into the D chord. I wanted to come up with like the same alliteration for the E and the G and I tried the C chord. I tried really hard to, go, but basically what I do in that video is I take the D chord and I go, what else can we do to that? Well, D2, D major 7, D7, D6, D minor 7, D minor whatever, D minor 6. I go through D over F sharp. I go through the D chord, just kind of show you, here's a bunch of different variations you can do to this chord. Some of them might be in the key of D, some might be out of the key of D, but they're just fun things you can do with that. And I did the same thing with the 5 chords in the cage method. I could do a real basic chords in the key of G. I have to look and see. I thought maybe I did something like that. Where would I have put that? Well, that would definitely be a basic video. So let me look under the basics playlist. People are probably yelling at me right now saying, you did it. Let's see. Basics. Where's my basics? I'm just going to do this. Now, the basics playlist has, and you could Keith, you can start here if you want to start watching some videos. I'll just send you the link for all of the whole playlist, but there's 81 videos in there. So it's pretty, but I talk about strumming, which is your right hand technique. And I start, strumming lesson number 1, and I'm up to 8 on that, I think, right? 8, my favorite 12/8 groove. I just did a video, 7 tips to help you change chords faster. And that one's doing pretty good. None of them are doing as well as the 7 tips for older beginners. Capoing the first fret, capoing improvisation, barring your first acoustic. Let's see. Even more tips for the beginner. So I have 2 videos that are pretty popular. The 2 the 2 songs or 5 songs with 2 chords. I have 2 of those that are doing pretty well. 7 chords in the key. Oh yeah, I did do this. Okay, 7 chords in the key. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I would do. I'm going to open this up. I would learn these chords in the key of G, and then if you learn, oops, wrong button. Copy. So Keith, maybe start here, and you can learn the chords in the key of G, and then the great thing is you can just capo and move it around to different keys. So if a song is in sorry. So anyway, we can do that. Let's see. Let's get going on some of this stuff. We're losing viewers, and I'm going to touch my face because my nose itches, and we can take a sip. Gary probably can post the rules for our drinking game. Well, I appreciate that, Keith. Yeah, just spent you're fine, Keith. Don't worry about it. You're not the only one. So I want to, let's see, we're going to do 2 chords. I think, I was just kind of messing around with this earlier, like trying to figure out, we need to be able to do that. And then, so this would be the C chord and the G chord. And that's kind of a cool vibe. That would take a minute to get down. You're not going to be able to do that overnight. But what I want you to be able to do is at least we're going to learn 2 chords, and they're actually really, really kind of easy. One is a C7. Okay, we're going to play it X, nothing on the bottom string, 3 2 3 2 0, and that's C7. Okay. Oh. Okay. Everybody take a drink. I forgot. And now thou knowest that I don't have, so let's see. Wait, you missed number 4? Missing number 4. I did too now. So I'm actually down a half step because I was recording on a pop record last night, and late last night. I should have gotten an extra strong coffee. I should have gotten a black eye. There we go. Now I need to take this guitar in to get it worked on. But the song was in E flat minor, and was it A flat minor? But I wanted to use open string, so I tuned down a half step so I could kind of vibe the song in that key. And it's cool because it was like this really produced out synthy track that they wanted to kind of redo with guitar. And it actually they really loved what I did, so that's cool. Okay, so the 2 chords, the C7, and check this out. This is really cool. We're gonna have fun with this. So again, the C7 is 3 2 3 1 0. Okay, and that's C7. It's not C plus, C7, sorry. Let's see. What's black eye coffee? Black eye is just a regular coffee with a shot of espresso, one shot. A red eye is 2 shots, and a purple eye is 3 shots. It's just lingo. They don't actually have it on the boards at Starbucks. It's funny because I ordered it the other day, and it was a new person behind the counter, and they were like, "What's a black eye?" And somebody behind them said, "1 shot, add a shot," because they're running around doing a million things. It was really. So this is the chord, C chord, and then the cool thing is you just move these 3 fingers up. Okay, so the third, second, and fourth finger, just move up a string and take off your first finger, and we're gonna play all 6 strings. So it's like, we'll do 3, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, and this is we could call that a G7 6 chord. You might be able to call it a G13, but it really doesn't have a 9 in there, and usually G13 would have a 9. St. Arbucks, yep. That's what I call it, St. Arbucks. Going to St. Arbucks, everybody thinks I'm so religious. It takes a little bit of doing. So what we're going to do, so we're going to play, we can start it with open strings. We're going to play the 5th string, the 4th string. So it's going to be 5th string, 4th string, 6th string, 4th string, okay, with our thumb. 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. And the 6, 4 is the harder one because you're having to kind of jump over the 5th string. Okay, but once we get the, and I'm getting the short note. Sorry, let me aim this down a little bit more. You don't need to see my face or my hair. You're making fun of my hair anyway. And I'll turn this light. Where's the switch? Oh, switch is over here. I should mount this right here. Just like, just ruin the guitar. All right, let's see if I can get this to give us a little light on my hand so you can see it. And so what we want is just, well, there's a lot of light coming from this window too. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, totally. I'm slouching too much. Okay. So you want to move your thumb, hit the 5th string, 4th string, 6th string, 4th string. Now you could, if you played C like this, you don't really have to bounce the 3rd finger around. And that voicing would be 3, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. That's would technically be C over G. But because we're controlling the bass note with our thumb on our right hand. If you wanted to, you could make this, or if you want to, you can do this with me. You can make the C7 chord, just have it sitting there, and then go. So there we go. And so what I'm doing is I'm going, let me write this out. And the other thing is I'm going to, I need to print up some, I don't think I have any blank. Do I? I do not. Look at all this. We've done a lot, you guys. Look at all this stuff. Just like pages and pages of stuff. So, all right, let me print up and where is that? There it is. Okay. Because I'm going to continue to write things out in music notation. See, yeah. Oh, shoot, I got too much blood on my printer. Trying to do taxes. Woo! Pepper's going to get some food. Like I said, we're gonna. It's getting warm here, so we're gonna. And Alex is coming over. So, all right. So I'm gonna write out what that looks like. So the chord we're going to play here is C7. And so what that would be is this. No, I wrote it wrong. Okay, printing again. I'm not going to use that paper. I don't want to confuse you. But it's the C7 chord. So the notes on the C7 chord, starting on the fifth string, are C, E, then B flat on the third string, and then C, and then E. So it looks like this. Don't be too, but those are the only 5 notes you have. Now we're not going to really, well, with the thumb, we're actually going to play those bottom 3 notes. We're going to play this C here, this E, every good boy deserves fudge. There's every good boy, but there's a flat sign before that, and that's that 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So the 3 notes we're going to play with our thumb are going to get this. I'm sorry. I totally said that wrong. We're going to actually move our finger down, so we're going to get these 3 notes. I'm like, wait a minute. Those bottom 3 notes. So we're actually going to get the G down there as well. That's that 3rd fret on the 6th string. Okay? So potentially we're going to have all those. Now what it looks like, I'm going to write these out as quarter notes. And I'll put the stems down because it's the bass line. Okay? So when the stems are down, you can kind of think of that as being the bass clef on a piano. Okay, if I were to write this out for piano, I would put that on its own staff. But with guitar notation, we don't do that generally. I can read, if I have to, I can read piano, music on your guitar, but it's a little difficult because you got to read bass clef and treble clef at the same time. But that's, oh, I see a question there. Okay, Carter, hold on a second. So that's basically what's going on. 5th string, 4th string, 6th string, 4th string, right? Remember I wrote 5, 4, 6, 4. That's the bass line. Boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum. So every other note is that E note. But the bass is like boom, 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 boom. That's actually going to be a kind of a chord tone. That's going to be like almost like you're doing a reggae beat where you're playing on the beat. Where's my acoustic? Oh, here it is. You're playing. That's going to be where the chord is. If you just want to practice that, if you're having a hard time with, you can just practice that part. Because ultimately, again, here's the C7 chord. I don't know why I have a pick in my hand. So Carter, you were curious if you like a different setup for playing fingerstyle and acoustic. Not really. I don't have guitars that are set up specifically for fingerstyle versus strumming, banging out stuff. Maybe if I were to really think about it, I would. And this guitar is going to get sent to the shop soon because it needs a ton of work. But maybe if I thought about it, I would have maybe with the strummers, I would have a little bit higher action because when you bang out really hard, that's when you tend to get buzzy. When the string's vibrating more, it tends to buzz out. Whereas on fingerstyle, you could have lower action, action doesn't affect the right hand at all. It's going to play the same. The action makes it easier to play on the left hand, and the action is the height of the strings. So if you got a really cheap guitar and the neck is warped, or the bridge is coming up, then you're going to have real high action. You're going to be like pushing the strings way down. It's going to be impossible to play, and the intonation is going to be awful. Like you think, oh, this is A, E, and then G, and then, but by the time you get up to C, it's going to be so sharp because your neck is warped or whatever. And but even on a good guitar, you can have higher or lower action. And so this guitar right now is set up pretty low. I don't know if I'm going to change that at all. It just needs to be refret. And then I've got somewhere in here, I've got a loose bracing. So it tends to, in certain keys, it tends to vibrate. And so that's not good if you're doing something like in a studio and an engineer hears like, hey, what's that vibration? And you can't get rid of it. Nothing I can do. And it was, I think my guitar tech even tried to repair it. See this was like this when I bought it. And he even tried to fix that. And I think the only way to really fix it is just to take this off, put a new one on. It doesn't really bother me. Like I said, I'm not out performing with this guitar. This guitar primarily is just in my studio. Made that up. I like it. I'll just sit here and entertain you. I think I'm doing that anyway. None of you actually play guitar. You're just here to look at me, watch me laugh at myself. Yeah, these are probably nano webs or poly webs, but these are elixirs for sure. And they need to be changed, but I'm not going to change them because my guitar tech will do that. So yeah, sorry, Carter, that does answer your question. So let's see. What did Jim say? Kathy needs a gold star. Yes, she does. Can I give her a gold star? Put user in timeout. Oh, how I don't want to. Let's see. Oh, I think I go at Kathy. There you are. Okay. And then let me see if I can find a gold star. Come on, emojis. Where are you? All right. Can I search for emojis? Is that what it's on? Elbow, ice cream. I give you ice cream and said, oh, wait, what was that? Dang it. This window for emojis is really small. No, not yin yang. You're the yin to my yang. Everybody says yin yang. It's not yin yang, it's yin yang. Okay, I'm going to do this instead. These look like pineapples. And I'm losing. There's a gold star for Kathy. All right, so enough of the emojis. So now on the G chord, so I'm counting this in quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and I would do that twice. I would sit on the C chord for a couple times. So it would be C, E, G, E, and this may be all we're going to work on, because this alone, I think for some of you may take a while. But now, does that look like it sounds? It totally looks like it sounds, right? That's why I don't want you to be afraid of reading music, because we're only taking a little chunk. Right now, we're only reading 3 notes. It's the same 3 notes over and over again. C, E, G, E, C, E, G, E. And C, E, G is the C major triad. So you can see harmonically what's happening there is it's just a C triad. And we're going root 5th. G is the 5th. This is the 3rd. Root 5th, root 5th. Root 5th, root 5th, like that. And what that's totally country sounding, right? If you were to be a bass player in a country band, you'd probably spend half your time playing root. Now on the G, we're going to go again. Play this chord and tell me you don't love it, because it's a beautiful chord. And again, I would probably call this G7/6. It's like a G7 chord. And then on the very top E string. Now, if you wanted to get rid of the E, you could put your first finger there. So you could kind of explode this C7 chord, or you blow it up and separate your second, third, and fourth finger from your first finger. So your first finger jumps down to the first string, and your second, third, and fourth string fingers jump down one string. Like that. But I kind of like that open E. And when we get... I love that E over that. It sounds very ragtimey, which is kind of what this Travis pattern is kind of emulating a little bit of the Scott Joplin thing, right? The boom, 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 on the left hand of the, and then the what we're gonna do is where it gets all like hoppy and syncopated is when we start filling in between these quarter notes, we start playing eighth notes. Boom, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum. When you hear those notes in between, when it gets fun is when we start playing in between, but that's syncopated kind of, and so that's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so here's the G chord that we're going to do. So this is C7, and then this is going to be, I'm calling it G7/6. Let's see. What did somebody? I don't have a question, do I? No. Okay. Yeah, we need to. You know what? We need to get Kathy verified. Okay. So I'm playing on the bottom. I'm playing the G. Way down here below, and then the B, and then the F, and then the open G string, the open B string, and the open E string. But really, all we're going to play here is the bottom three strings. So we're going to go G to F, down to B to F, and then G to F to B to F. And you can kind of think, and again, I'm going to make the stems go down because this is our bass line. Again, you can think of these notes being representational of the strings. The bottom three strings you're playing are G, B, and F. And so this G, that means I'm playing the bottom string. This means I'm playing the fourth string. This one means I'm playing the fifth string, and this means I'm playing the fourth string. So you don't even need to be able to read these notes and know what notes you're playing as much as you can just see the neighborhood. Oh, this is the lowest neighborhood. This is the next two neighborhoods over, and this is the next door neighborhood, and that kind of thing. You can kind of the music will show you where it's at. So, all right. Oh, yes, Pepper up there. Sorry, Pepper. Hey, TA. Yeah, nylon's great. No, nylon's fine. In fact, is that what the question was? Chet Atkins would often play a nylon. In fact, I think the Chet Atkins guitar was like a solid body. Also, I think what's his name? Jerry Reed would often play nylon. I used to be able to play. I used to be able to play the claw. I can't remember how it goes. And I think the original recording of Jerry Reed playing the claw was on nylon. If my memory serves me right. Okay, so here's the G7 we're going to do, which is just I love that chord. Oh, I changed guitars so everybody gets to take a sip. So how do I get rid of these emojis now? I don't want the emojis anymore. Oh, I see. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. It worked and then it went away. Okay, so yeah, take a sip because I changed guitars. Hilarious. And I told you I wouldn't get caught not knowing what tuning I was in again. And I totally did that. Thanks, Reed. Appreciate it. Paul Becker, you still there? Paul is such an angel. He helped me build a closet in my old studio, and Alex is still using it. And he's got it set up as like an amp closet, so he can crank up amps in there. It's pretty cool. It's like he can play pretty loud, and it doesn't bother the neighbors. Yeah, Jerry Reed's a master. So good. Okay, so here's so play with me the 5th string or the 6th string, 4th string, 5th string, 4th string, 6, 4, 5, 4. And again, I'm playing the chord. I'm playing 3, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0 is our G chord, and I'm playing the strings in order. This time I'm playing. Before I was playing 5, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. Now I'm playing 6, 4, 5, 4. So I kind of reversed that. And so that's where you can tell, okay, there's going to be a little bit of there's an exercise right there. Even for me, because you're asking your right hand to change what it's doing. 5, 4, and I'm talking about strings here with the right hand on the thumb. 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. Oops, 5. See, I messed it up. You guys think I'm like perfect and never make mistakes, or I'm the most amazing guitar player. I'm like, none of that is true. Or maybe you don't think that. That's also not true. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 6, 4, and then 6, 4, 5, 4. Let's do it with no left hand. Let's not worry about the left hand. Just the hand on the guitar. 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. Now that would be the pattern if I only did 1 bar of C and 1 bar of G. See, I've written 2 bars of C and 2 bars of G. But what I'm doing here is I'm making it 1 bar each to speed up the exercise. So in other words, I'm working the problem more times if I cut out 2 bars. So that means if I play 10 bars of music, I'm working the problem 5 times. Whereas if I play it this way, I'm only going to work it 2.5 times. So the idea is to kind of get right to the problem and fix it. So the exercise would be plucking 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. Okay. And that would imply we're going 6 C chord to the G7. And I love hitting that B, kind of like the Carcassi method, right? What was it? Like example. We got that B, and that leads us back to the C. And it's kind of the same thing with this. We got that B, and that B leads really strong to the C chord. The B of the G chord is a leading tone because it leads to the next note. Okay. So here's that. Again, with just the open strings. 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. And that's our exercise. And there's the 2 chords. See, on the C chord, I'm going. And then I leave my 3rd finger there, and I bring my 2nd finger up and add my pinky. I've got on my phone, I've got just memes, just screenshots of memes. I've got a billion of them for the kids. And you kind of, you can, again, we can use a metronome to really set up our goals, and so let's say, so here's 88. Memes are alive. Yeah. Memes are the only way I communicate with my kids anymore. Don't talk to them. I just send them memes. Or memes. Who was the baseball player that was doing an interview and he was asked a question and he said, "Well, I don't know if I want to answer that. I don't want to become a meme." It's like, I think that's the greatest self-fulfilling prophecy in the last 20 years. Okay. That was awesome. I don't want to become a meme. Oh, with the pen? What was I doing with the pen? I forgot. Oh no. Oh no. Are you guys is it are you posting pictures of like screenshots of me doing stuff on the Discord thing? So if you aren't I'm going to send an invite again to the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, they continue this chat after we're done. It's the community. They're not even talking about guitar or me. They're talking about other stuff. Or sometimes they're talking about guitar, but they're not talking about me. I'm in there. I've got a fake name I come in with. They don't know I'm there. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. You can talk about me. Okay, so that's one exercise. Now so another exercise. Remember, I told you we started to learn a couple days ago, and we've been doing this finger picking pattern stuff for a while. Yeah, my fake name is Tom Strahle as well. We started doing the finger picking thing. Oh gosh, it's been about a week now. And what I've been doing is I've been writing out Giuliani arpeggios. And arpeggios is a classical term for finger picking pattern. That's what we call it, guitar players. But if you were studying classical guitar, you would call it arpeggios. And so I've been writing out a bunch of these. These are all available up on the Discord. I've scanned them and my sloppy penmanship and all. But the last couple of days, we started doing patterns that had, or just yesterday, a pinch in it, where you're actually playing two fingers at once. Thumb and in this case, a ring finger. Okay, so one exercise we could do is play the C7 chord, which is this. We're going to actually move the bass note down. So it's going to be 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 0. So that's technically going to be, don't think you have to play. You can't really play this like that because you don't have 5 fingers. You're actually going to move the bass. Let me get rid of that bottom note. Just do this. 3, 2, 3, 1, 0. And this is C7. We're just going to do that chord. Okay. We're not going to do the G7 right now. Okay. But I am going to, I think I'm going to move the bass around. You know, I don't know. I don't have, for one thing, William, I can't play. I don't want to play songs. Anytime I've played a song on my live stream, I've gotten demonetized because they won't let me do it. So it's funny. I even played a song that was 500 years old and they wouldn't let me monetize. So I can't play any songs or else I'm going to get in trouble. And I think Master Puppets is in drop D, right? I'm sure somebody here knows. I'm pretty sure it's drop D tuning. But if you want to learn how to play that, there's a million guys that are taught it up on put it up on YouTube and taught to play it. But I don't teach songs. I teach technique, theory, guitar skills, knowledge, that kind of stuff. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to go. Let's just do this. So play thumb on the 5th string, and then the 4th string and the 1st finger grabbing the 3rd string. Just do that even. That's called a tritone. Hey, Ben. So you can even practice that without moving the bass note around. Go 5th string and then 4th and 3rd string together. Okay, and I'm going to turn my hand so I got the light aimed at my hand. So I'm just do that 1,000 times. I teach, yeah, and other libations. Yeah, everybody needs to have a libation ready. Now, if you got that down, you want to make it a little harder, go. Tritone is only made up of 2 tones. Okay, and a tritone is basically a 5th flatted. In this case, it's made up of an E and a B flat. It used to be called the devil's tone, but you really could, like, tritone. In this case, you can take this tritone. Little music theory here. You can take this tritone, which is E and B flat, and you can just flip the fingers down the 2nd finger down a string and the 3rd finger up a string, and you'll get F and A. And that's the root and 3rd of the F chord. So this is the 3rd and 7th of the C chord, and it creates tension that wants to be resolved to an F chord. Check it out. See that? Tension, release. We can make more tension, more release. More tension. Right? I'm creating more tension by adding more like flat 5s and flat 9s and things like that. C7, flat 9, flat 5 creates a lot of tension that wants to resolve to the F. But right now you have enough tension right here in the tritone. So when they outlawed in music for a while, they outlawed the tritone because it was the devil's tone. You couldn't have that kind of tension, which is funny. And there's music. I think it's Renaissance era, medieval, more earlier than Renaissance though. Where you really won't, you could play a whole piece and not find a tritone. So it's a distance of 3 whole steps. Oops. If you want to think of it that way. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. See, I just learned something. Tritone. I didn't know it was called a tritone because it was 3 steps. I love learning new stuff. Yeah, not that much tension. It's too much tension. Okay, so I'm playing the C7 chord. Now I'm moving the bass note. Yeah, exactly, Carter. Tritone cuts the octave in half. Got me on the big screen. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna freak you out right now. Too much Tom, Ben. Screenshot. Yeah. Well, also it's also that occurs naturally in a Lydian scale, like we did the F Lydian scale. And that's Maria from West Side Story. He uses a Lydian. It starts with a tritone also. There's I think the Jetsons, does that start with a tritone too, I think? There needs to be a Jetsons movie. They made an animated movie, but that doesn't count. They need to have a live action Jetsons movie. Again, I'm just using thumb and first finger there. And I'm bouncing my 3rd finger around to get the different bass note. But if you can't do that, just do the C and then the E and the B flat. Ben took off because Ben's like, yeah, he doesn't know what a tritone is, so he doesn't know anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't know anything. I would have told you that at the beginning. Oh, Ben's still here. Good. Yeah, Lydian is in every, yeah. Remember when we learned about the modes, which was, I think we talked about modes starting in lesson 13, and we did that for 4 or 5 lessons. No, we started with cage method. I'm losing track. This is lesson 37 in a row. I'm getting a hap slappy over here. But yeah, no matter what key you're in, what major key you're in, there is a relative Lydian scale key. Okay, so if we're in the key of A flat, and we count up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we start the A flat major scale on D flat, that's a D flat Lydian scale. If we play A major, go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, do, re, mi, fa. We go to the fa. We start on fa and play up the scale. That's a Lydian scale. Hap slappy, yeah. I always say hap slappy instead of slap happy. It's like bass backwards. I always say bass backwards instead of the other way around. I like unerspisms. I mean spoonerisms. Hap slappy is an unerspism or a spoonerism. So if I say a spoonerism, we have to take a sip, Gary. What do you think? Should that thou utterest, thine unerspism. I don't know. That might one dislike. Diane doesn't like unerspisms. Please sing Jesus music. Not going to do it today, Pastor. Sorry. Yeah, I got a tune. I'm a little out of tune right now. Yeah, sorry. I'm not singing or performing music because I don't want to lose monetization on my channel and on my live stream. So I'm not doing worship online for that reason. I can't. They won't let me. All right. Should write a song with the 10 Commandments. I could put it over the music for the Louis Milan, put 6 Pavanas in a Fantasia. I could put it over that. Here we go. I should have done this from the get-go. Lift my leg up here. Okay. So again, this is the main thing, really want to get today. But if you can add that, you can do a C chord if you want to. It doesn't really matter. Okay. But if you do this, the great thing about this is this C7. Okay. So I'm playing X, 3, 2, 3, 1. And we can even think X if you want there. And that's C7 because I'm not playing the first string. All right. Oops. I did the C ampersand again. If we move that up 2 frets, check it out. It becomes, so we're going to be X, 5, 4, 5, 3, X, and that's D7. Now, if you add the open string on top, okay, we're going to do that. 5, 4, 5, 3, 0. That's a D9 chord. That has the E in it, so it's a D9 chord. So check this out. Add the E string. So I grab that E string with my ring finger. You can have the E string on the C chord, of course, because it's part of a C chord. Yeah, totally bounce. You can even do the passing tone. I'm just going C7, C sharp 7, D7, C sharp 7. Went to G to F. Now I need to work on that a little bit. The 5, the 6, 4, 5, 4. Never played nylon strings before. Yeah, they're nice. My first guitar was nylon. And so I started on that. And then in college, just before I went to college, I got one because I was going to study classical guitar. And I didn't get my first steel string until I was like 30. And that was for leading worship in our Sunday school class, because my wife and I were leading worship for it, and I needed to get an acoustic guitar because nylon wasn't going to work, and I didn't want to set up an amp. But yeah, so I can all this stuff can be. I bet you electric too. Oh, I changed guitars. I don't know. There was someone on the pastor some pastor wanted me to do some worship music, Pepper. But I'm not going to do that. Worship of God and Christian God. But maybe not. He didn't specify. So I don't know. So I like that. Now there's obviously if you move up to E, you can also do the E string. That's just the root. But that's not bad. That E coming on the C sharp, it's not too bad because it's a flat 9 or the sharp 9. So it kind of has a Jimi Hendrix chord kind of sound to it. And then you go up to the D, and that's the E string becomes the 9th. But if you go up to E flat, not really work. But E it works, of course, because it's an E note. Over the F, you would think it wouldn't work. It kind of doesn't, but it also. Here's F, here's E flat, which is a 7. So you can get a lot of times when you're playing the blues and you land on the root, you can go. If you're an F, you can go down to E flat, and you can use what's called a passing tone, a chromatic passing tone, to go from F to E flat. You can also go up. A lot of guys will do that. Or you go down. So I could see where maybe you could almost sell that. You go up to F sharp, you just keep going. You got C sharp, D sharp, E or E flat, F sharp actually has an E in it. So F sharp's so it's redundant. And then we go up one more to G, and that E becomes a 6, which we did in this chord. Oh, really? That's fun. Well, that's fine. I don't mind. You can hit dislike. It's a free country. Oh, not an escape tone, a passing tone. An escape tone, I don't know what that is. But yeah, passing tone, you can almost sell any note, any of the 12 notes in any key if you use it in the right way. So, I've actually been this is totally off the subject, but if I'm playing in blues in A or something, I never would have played the B flat in the key of A blues. But I actually am now. You would do the flat 5 all the time. But the flat 9, I just doing the exact same lick I'm doing on the 4th to the flat 5 to the 4th. It just totally works. Well, there you go. Ben, you should be teaching on YouTube. Yeah, we try to be respectful of everybody here. All right, so now keep in mind you can do, if we were to do the like an A7 chord, we would play the same as the C, the fifth string, fourth string, sixth string, fourth string. Now over E chord. So every chord is going to have a different pattern. Let's look at the five. Let's go all 5 chords. So we're starting with C. I probably would play open C. I would probably play 5, 4, 6, 4. That one would work basically for the C, but you're going to have to add a note. You're going to have to move something. Okay, then we go to A, the caged. We'll do the cage. We'll do it in the order of the cage method. I would do the same, because then we're getting the fifth down there. Same thing. So, but it would be so it would be 5, 4, 6, 4, and that would be for the A. Thanks, Kathy. Okay. Okay, and then the next one is G. And you're probably going to go 6, 4, 5, 4. So you're going to do the other version for the G chord. Okay. And then caged E. E, same thing, 6, 4, 5, 4. And here, in this case, we are getting the root in the fifth. Because here on the C, we're going boom, 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 boom. Kind of like the oompa kind of thing, or what the tuba player would be playing. A, we did the same thing. Boom, boom. But on the G, we did B. Now you could, if you wanted the fifth in there, you could go, but you're not going to get the fifth there on the third beat. So it would be, but on the E chord, we have root, seventh, or let's say just E major, root, fifth, root. Yeah. Start on, for now, start on the root. Yeehaw. Exactly. Oh, I got an email from a boss, from a client. Hold on a second. I still have a job, right? You guys know that, right? Let's see. Oh. Okay. Let's see. He's wanting to know how much time I've spent on this movie. So, and then the last one. So we've done C, A, G, E. E would be the E, 6, 4, 5, 4. That would be E. And then D, we get to do. We're going to do a little different. See, because that's why you notice I went up here to play D, right? Like I that just felt good. This. Okay. That one where you might go 4, 3, 5, 3, and that would be D, but it's just, I don't know. I'd rather play this. Of course, if you don't want a 7 in there, that's a hard chord to play for a beginner. Basically, I'm just taking a C chord up. Kind of our cage thing. Okay, so let's go back to just plain old C, though. All right. Now, here is a pattern. Let's see. You can play open, the open G string is the first finger hitting that. Or you can add the pinky and play the C7. And so, like, I'm not going to play Dust in the Wind, but I'll play the pattern from it just on the C chord. See, was it? That one is just going here. So you can practice that too. If you want to take the C and just play the fifth string, fourth string, fifth string, fourth string. Boom. And that's I am a leprechaun. That's the rhythm. Yeah, generally you're going to want to start on the root. It's true. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up, but yeah, so yeah. You definitely want to start kind of on the root, and there are probably some, well, like for example, if I'm playing G over B, obviously that's not the root. So if I went, which actually, that's, Landslide, which is also another Travis Pattern song by Fleetwood Mac. And we definitely don't want to play that because they will definitely take down my video. So we got to be real careful. I have not, and actually, I'm not palm muting. We have not talked about that. I'm fine for now if you guys, if it rings out. So if you want, you can do this. This is a good little exercise. I'm actually lifting the strings off the frets, but leaving the fingers. It's a very good song, Kathy. Yeah, Landslide uses a pinch. Yep, and it starts with a pinch. And we're doing the pinch on beats 2 and 4. So we're using it kind of more of a country or bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, chord, bass. Here's your bass, but we're using the thumb to jump up here to get the chord. Bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, chord. So your own accompaniment, and then you do the melody on top. I don't know. I need to have a plan when I'm going to do this. Oh, they did. I didn't know the Smashing Pumpkins did a cover of that. Somebody else did. Dixie Chicks, I think, did too. I've been a million covers of that song. That's a very commonly covered song. So if you can get this down right there on a C chord, and then if you want to add on the first downbeat 1, add the second finger playing the second string. So a pinch, like Jim said, right? Jim, were you the one that said? Jim, you were talking about the palm muting. Yeah. I'm actually doing the muting with my left hand. So I'm lifting, like I said, not lifting the fingers off the strings. I'm lifting the strings off the frets. My hand's actually on my here. I could do that. That's palm muting. And technically I'm not lifting the strings off the fingers. I mean the strings off the frets. I'm doing muting with my right hand, but here I'm doing the muting with this hand. I'm just shortening the notes. You can just practice that by really, I'm not thinking so much that I'm lifting off my fingers as much as I'm pushing down when I want the note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I didn't lift my fingers off, it would sound like this. So I'm not muting as much as I'm just playing staccato notes. Difference. I do mute a lot, and I can mute, picking, I do that. Muting is a great tool. Thanks, Sam. Abe, AB, how's it going? Good to see you. So we go back to this. That's part of Dust in the Wind. Now it's kind of a tough pattern to get down at first, but if you just start out with a small chunk of it, that makes it eventually you can get there. And we're going to talk about this pattern. It's also something. Let's see. Somebody called that something. I forget that pattern. And hopefully I won't get a takedown notice for that. Probably will. I'll have to mute that. I can mute that, but yes, right now. I'm working on standard tuning right now. Yes, I did ask. In fact, yesterday I asked everybody if they were comfortable tuning their guitar. See, normally if I were teaching you one-on-one, I could tune your guitar for you or sit here while you tuned it and make sure you got it right. But when I got 48 people on a live stream and I say, okay, tune down to Dadgad. For one thing, I don't know when you're all there. I don't know if you were actually there. And so I don't want to mess with you too much. But yeah, I'm definitely going to, if we keep going. I mean, I know I'm probably going to be going until May 15th because we have still in LA County and LA City, although I think a lot of the other counties are opening up May 1st. But LA County is still closed down until May 15th. So, okay, question from Sam and Pepper up there. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Sam, for how long have you been playing the guitar? Just wondering. I've been playing, well, this July it will be 50 years. I got my first guitar when I was 9 years old on my 9th birthday. So there's that question. So I'll be 59 this summer. There was another one. Oh yeah, no, I got that one. Oh, Pepper had one too. Okay, sorry, Pepper. Oh, Pepper. Kathy. Well, how far up is it, Pepper? You got peppers in your... Oh, how do I keep my hands from muting the strings? Your left hand, that usually when we, hey, Anthony, how's it going? You're usually when people are having problems with muting strings, it's their left hand. Okay, like I said before, one of the tricks I did with students who were like, for example, on a C chord, trying to play C chord, and that's why in some ways C7 is better because you don't have to worry about open strings so much because you got your pinky on the B flat right there on the 3rd fret. That's a B flat, so this makes it a C7 chord. But if you've got that G string open and you're not, it's not ringing because you're muting it with the kind of the fleshy part of your finger, getting that kind of sound, or even the 4th string isn't ringing out because you're touching it here with this part of your 3rd finger. You know, you're getting that kind of sound. Mainly that's because your hand is laying too flat. And it might be because you're grabbing the neck too much like a baseball bat. So you want, and like I said, I would take a piece of paper, wad it up like this, and I'd make the student actually play with it in their hand right here. You can see that. And it would force them to make their fingers do more of this kind of arch to it. So you really want that arch effect. Let's see if I can get that in there. Okay. If you're laying it down flat like this, you're going to deaden strings. You really want to have the string, the fingers almost coming, excuse me. That's a wet cough. Don't worry. Coming like they're coming from the sky, you know, straight down onto the fingers. You want almost as much as possible. And then that will cut back on. And C is one of those chords that's actually harder to play because of that. It's, you know, D chord, most people can play a D chord because, I mean, maybe the 3rd finger will deaden the 1st string, but for the most part, everybody can kind of play the D chord. It's the C chord that's tough. And that's why I say, well, the great thing about doing the kind of bluesy Travis pattern, and we'd add that B flat there, make it a C7 chord. It definitely makes it a little bit easier to not worry about, you know, to notes ringing out. So hopefully that answers. Oh, my battery died. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes, I know. All right, turn that off. All right, Verdi, are you just translating or do you actually speak Japanese? Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, Kathy, you're probably right there. I know what you're doing. Yeah, we're sticking to guitar topics here today for the most part. I see I'm playing with a pick in my hand. I'm just trying to keep. Okay, so I do have a playlist for alternate tunings. Yes, let me pull that one up because I've done a lot of talking about that, finding chords. And actually, my whole YouTube channel started on that subject, but it's not I'm not an expert on it. I don't. People think, oh, you play a lot in open tunings. I really, really don't. So let me pull up that playlist, and then let me touch my face so you guys can all take a drink because it's been a while. So I have 15 videos on open tunings, and a lot of it is like my most popular one is play most any song. I also have one called the Coldplay Tuning, which has since been pointed out that it's wrong. It's not the tuning that they used. Verdi, that's actually, yeah, the Coldplay Tuning is actually kind of similar to that. And I put it Coldplay in quotes. So I was not claiming that this was the tuning from Yellow, and I'm not going to do the tuning as the correct one, but the tuning that I used, and I love this tuning, is you just take the E down a half step. You can think of it sorry, you can think of it as E flat. I like to think of it as D sharp because I'm going to be playing in like, so if I play an E chord, it sounds like E major 7. It's just a great sound. Just sliding E to F up. I just love the sound of that tuning. But the official tuning is actually, I think they tune the D string down to B as well, I think is what it is. And so I had a lot of people say, oh, you got it wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, right. I used air quotes. You're right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I put Coldplay in quotes. And I guess somebody doesn't understand what quotes mean. If I said Coldplay tuning, just plain Coldplay, then it's like, okay, this is the tune. Or if I'd said this is the tuning from Yellow and I was wrong, I wasn't sure. I just like the tuning and I call it the Coldplay tuning. So I'm doing air quotes a lot right now. So I just want to say, I'm sorry. To quote Joey from Friends. Okay, I'm taking a sip. Now we're going to have to come up with a new thing that you guys can all take a bathroom break. But yeah, tunings are great. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I did just worked on a pop record, a song with an artist, and I did double drop D. So that's dropping both E strings down a whole step. And that's very, very similar to open D, or really pretty close to Dadgad. The only difference is you would drop the B string down a whole step too. So it's very, very close to Dadgad. And so let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, last sip. What else? 4. Oh yeah, did I do 4? Yeah, Kathy's dying. She knows what. Oh man, my nose itches. Take another sip. So if you're new to the channel, I don't think there's many people here new today. Dang it. I think I got a hair on my face. the drinking game is if I touch my face, you take a drink. If I use air quotes, you take a drink. If I say I had a band in high school called something, you take a quote, or you take a quote, you take a drink. If I refer to myself in the third person, which I only do to make you take a drink. If I pick up a guitar and don't know what tuning it's in, and I did that today, and I told you before that I was never going to do that again, so I lied. Yeah, gulp. And then let's see, if I mentioned that I played all the guitars on Apex Legends, you have to take a drink. Let's see, because that's just bragging. So if I brag, you guys can take a drink, but this whole thing is all me bragging. Let's see, when Ross is mad at him after Rachel gave birth and Joey tells him to hit him, but he ends up hurting his hand and Joey hits him because he doesn't duck, makes me laugh to charity. There's so many great scenes in that. I'll tell you though, my kind of, what is it, guilty pleasure, and it's not actually nothing wrong with watching Cheers, but Cheers still makes me laugh. It's just, and I have every script memorized for that show. Let's see, Frankie V, what age do you recommend teaching kids guitar? My eldest is almost 5. Yeah, I would totally do, and if you could do a ukulele, what I would do though is I maybe go ahead and have you could do a let's see, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave. Well, here's a ukulele. And see how this string is high? Okay. You could either put an octave, go an octave down on this string, like get a heavier string for it, or tell them you want. They make ukulele sets that are that are kind of low to high. They don't have the high string on top. This is great for, I mean, it's great for strumming and things like that. It totally has a ukulele sound. So I have one tuned like this, but I also have a ukulele where I have a low, it's standard string. And I like that better. And then you could also get like a baritone uke, which would be the same as the top 4 strings of the guitar open. I have several ukuleles, and so you can do that. And then if they're like, when they learn a D shape, that's actually a D chord. And then the G chord is like this. So they're actually learning the top 4 strings of the guitar. So you can totally start on a ukulele for a 5-year-old, no problem. Alex started when he was like 1 year old on a ukulele, but he wasn't making chords. He was just working on his strumming. And that's something that also you can do on a ukulele. You can get your rhythm chops together on a ukulele. So yes. Let's see. Do we do dips instead of sips? I feel like partying. I don't know what dips are. Like chip dip, or yeah, we could do that. Let's see. No, my guilty pleasure, and I bet you no one here has ever seen this. If I'm sick, if I've got a fever and I'm in bed, I always watch this one BBC thing, and it's another one of those things I have memorized. It's called Lost in Austen. Has anyone seen that? I think it's one of the best cast Austen. And it's kind of not a parody of Austen, but it's someone from the modern times gets dropped in the middle of Pride and Prejudice. And it's great. And they were going to make, in fact, Nora Ephron was going to make a movie of it here in the States. And then she died, unfortunately. But it was on her list, next thing to make, and the screenwriter. Dick Van Dyke is also a great show, yes. Not really. I mean, some of the things there's going to be an adjustment, but there'll be a lot of light bulbs coming on when they go from mandolin to. Oh wait, what did Verdi say that makes? Okay, boomers. Yeah. Well, I'm a buster, so you can say okay, buster. I'm a baby buster, and I'm just like. Boomers, I'm like at the tail end of the boomers, so they call us busters. Do I have a favorite alternate stringing? Not really. On acoustic, I don't do anything weird like that. Golden Girls, I have to get into. You know what? One Everybody Loves Raymond is great, Kathy. We talked about that one before. That's one I never watched when it was on, and then I started watching it on reruns, and just, I swear, I tell you this, I'm like, a typical script for a 30-minute show, say, typical show is 22 minutes. The average script then would be 22 pages, basically a page a minute. But I swear, Everybody Loves Raymond is probably 8 pages long, because they deliver a line and they just sit there while people laugh and they're just looking at each other. It's all facial expressions. That show is, I know that. Okay, boomer. Yeah. It's like, okay, Karen. MASH, I loved. It was my favorite show when it was on. And then for some reason in reruns, it just doesn't make me laugh. I don't know why. Let's see. Verdi, you and Kathy are the same age. That's funny. Yeah, Golden Girls. Like I said, I need to get into that because a lot of people I really dig Golden Girls. Lost in Austen is not one you can find on any streaming. You'd have to buy it, I think. The Vicar of Dibley. I've never heard of that. A Brit comedy. Yeah, we watched a lot of Brit comedies. I told you about the French one we started watching. We watched second episode last night. It's very, very good. It's called The Bureau. Le Bureau. in français. En français. I love it in Paris. It cracks me up. It's like in Paris, if you walk in and say, bonjour, bonsoir, and they'll go, oh, how may I help you? If you walk in and go, how much is that? They'll go, parlez-vous français? You totally pretend like they don't speak English. So you gotta make an effort. And they love it when you make an effort. They love it to death. They laugh, but that's okay. Bonjour. Hello. They love it when you make it. That's true of any culture. You go any country, so I always learn at least good day in any language. I get lazy though, because we tend to go to the big cities in Europe. If you go out to the farmlands, yeah, they're not going to speak English. So, let's see. Okay, now we know Verdi's birthday and Kathy's birthday. So we have to, and if I'm still doing this June 13th, I'm gonna be insane. We gotta talk. We gotta find new things to talk about. So nobody's seen Lost in Austen. Anybody said? Oh, question from Sam. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Bruce. Sam Winston, are you there? Winchester. Sorry, are you still there? Boy, was it way up there? Oh, there you go. Do you have a favorite song? Yes. I would say, that's a toughie, but I would say probably the song that's meant the most to me through my life is Yesterday by the Beatles. It was the first song I ever performed live. I put together a male vocal group when I was 7 years old, believe it or not. And we sang, it was like, there were like 8 of us in the group. And we sang for a talent show. We sang Yesterday. So that would have been 1968. And it was to I found some instrumental piano version of it, and we put the record on and we sang the melody, we sang the words over that. Two Enough Men, yeah, the older shows are pretty good on that. Let's see. Zennial for a millennial Xer, yeah. So did that answer your question, Sam? It's actually a question that I have an answer to. And yeah. Let's see. Fawlty Towers is funny. You're right. Yeah, Fawlty Towers. Anything with any of the Monty Python people I really like. I love Monty Python. Benny Hill was just kind of stupid. Didn't really, that was nothing like, let's see. Three's Company. I don't know, Pepper. That was one. That's one of those shows that couldn't exist today because every episode was about a miscommunication or a misunderstanding that could easily be handled with one cell phone call. I told you about that New York Times or the LA Times story where the cell phone has created all these problems for screenwriters because it's very. You'll notice, like especially in rom-coms, romantic comedies, where you have to have some third act drama where somebody is misunderstood, or it could happen in the first act, but it would be really hard to carry that kind of misunderstanding all the way through an hour and a half movie without cell phones. unless it were a period piece. Now, if you're going back and you got a movie in the 50s or 60s or 70s, then you don't have to worry about it. But any movie set in contemporary times, you have to deal with cell phones and the fact that you could solve any problem with a phone call, whether even it's just maybe a matter of calling 911. It's really fascinating. In fact, the article gave all these examples of how certain movies, and I can't remember this one. It was who was the female lead in Blindside? She reminds me of a friend of mine. She looks just like her, and she there was a movie I think she was in where it was a romantic movie, and they actually, the car went off the road and into a ditch, and like it was a little valley, and they couldn't get the car started, and they had no cell phone service, and it was raining, so they couldn't go outside, climb back up to the road because it was pouring rain. So they had to go to this extreme like car accident into this like chasm with pouring rain so that they could get the phone out of the story. It's amazing. So, but when you're watching movies, watch how often, especially if it's a contemporary film, watch how often the phones are taken out of the situation. One of my screenplays, I had to do it, and this is before I'd read the article. I was like, well, I got to have him get rid of his phone because I can't have him call anybody. So he drops the phone in the toilet, and so that's how I got rid of the phone. It was dead. Let's see. Let's see. I actually okay. Bonbon bucket. Bonbon equals candy. Yep. Sitting on the sofa eating bonbons. That's what that was. Married with Children, which was also one of those shows that was like, wasn't very good. Pretty not great. Penny Dreadful. I don't know if I could watch Penny Dreadful. I actually worked on that show. I played guitar for it just recently, but I don't think my guitar is on there. I think what I did was I played guitar that a singer's going to sing to, and they're going to hear my guitar in their ears, but there's not going to be a guitar in the scene. It was a lullaby, actually. Somebody asked for a lullaby. That's one of your. Bonbon. Yeah, Bonnie. Yeah, that would be a good nickname for someone named Bonnie. Let's see. Frankie Verdi, 82. Frankie, you're born in 82? Oh my gosh, you're a puppy. Hook, what did you say? Hook's getting in trouble. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Kathy's just being hyper cautious with the live chat because they will change. They won't let me have certain advertisers if there's certain things said in here. Like I think even if we say something about cigarettes, which we've talked about that. So I think you may have said that, Kathy. That's why you deleted. Here's to the zennials. Here you go. Is that how you say it? Zennials, like with a Z? That sounds like a flower. You guys are flowers. Cheers. At least Anthony, at least you sang something great. My first grammar school public sing was Beep Beep by the Playmates. That's funny. Diane got a message deleted by Kathy. Oh my goodness, Diane. What happened? True Detective. That's not a bad. Yeah, Westworld. I don't have. I've seen True Detective. Dennis is in the game. Let's see, Sam. Yes, let's try mom's favorite song, actually. Oh, that's your mom's favorite. Yeah. Well, you're probably young enough to be my kid. Gotta go. Good to see you, Sam. Yeah, you deleted your own comment. Okay, Kathy, I see that. I'm sorry. I'm really lagging. Exploding Sheep. TA. Hey, TA, I haven't seen you in a while. Gilligan's Island. Actually, my one of my best friends, his grandfather wrote probably half of the episodes of Gilligan's Island. His name is Roland McLean, Roland, Roland McLean. And he wrote probably half of the episodes of Leave It to Beaver. And he also wrote, he created Dobie Gillis and wrote all the episodes of that. So he wrote a lot of, you could look him up on IMDb and see that he wrote a lot of stuff. And the family still gets royalties from that. which is kind of cool because I still see Gilligan's Island on TV. I mean, we're talking $1 every quarter, kind of thing, not like a lot of money. Okay, so Bonnie's going to bring the candy peanut butter cup mix to the party. Yeah, Marianne, definitely. I'm a Marianne over Ginger. Yeah, Marianne, Ginger. It's not even a contest, in my opinion. Because Marianne she's all American. She's cute, and she's probably nice. And Ginger, you just get the feeling like she's going to be a diva and high maintenance, and you're going to have to go somewhere expensive for dinner every time you go out. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't even know why they even asked that question, but maybe there are guys that like Ginger. I'm sure there are. So what do you guys say, Marianne or Ginger? What have we devolved to? I'm way behind on these questions. Okay, question: is the melody or key of a song, regardless of arrangement, what's protected by copyright laws? Well, okay, wait. Generally, my understanding has been for years and years is that the only things you can copyright are the lyrics and the melody. Now, of course, if the lyric is "I love you" over and over again, you can't copyright the phrase "I love you." But lyrics are kind of like poems, and poems are copyrightable. Poems are like stories, and stories are copyrightable. So lyrics are definitely copyrightable to, at a point. Melodies are also copyrightable, but there's, if you listen to country music or blues music, they often recycle the same melodies over and over again, and nobody really sues about that. Now there's a big question about the whole lawsuit thing, so you can't just change the key and tempo of a song and go, oh, okay, it's not copyright anymore. No, if you're still doing the song, no matter what key or speed you're doing it, it's still, you're playing copyrighted material. But now with the whole stupid, it really bothers me that the Marvin Gaye family, the Marvin Gaye estate is suing everybody for boom, boom, boom. I mean, come on, you can't copyright a bass line and a drum beat. Right? Ed Sheeran got sued for that, and he paid. He lost. And then what was the other one though? We talked about this one before, the Pharrell and Robin Thicke song, and that again, that was intentional. They intentionally had a party going on in the background. They intentionally had cowbells. Now they had two cowbells, one on the left and one on the right. The Marvin Gaye song only had one cowbell. I'll tell you an interesting story about the Marvin Gaye thing. In fact, I wrote a treatment for a Marvin Gaye movie that never happened. I mean, that actually I was trying to get to someone to produce, because I thought they need to do a biopic on Marvin Gaye. But the problem with biopics is if they do too big of a chunk of their life, it's just not a good movie. You got to pick a scene. You got to pick a moment in their life. And I found a moment in Marvin Gaye's life that would be a perfect for a biopic. In fact, I thought the title should be "What's Going On." But anyway, the other thing that they copied in that song was the Fender Rhodes. There's a Rhodes bass. I don't know if you've ever seen, Fender Rhodes is they have an 88 and a 73. And they also have a little one that's like 2 octaves or an octave and a half that's just bass, just like down here. And the bass on that song was also played on a Fender Rhodes, like the Marvin Gaye tune. And so those 3 elements, they're still producer choices. They're not, the bass line wasn't the same. The cowbell pattern wasn't the same. The background wasn't sampled. And yet they still got sued and lost. It was ridiculous. Okay, sorry. I'm way behind on stuff. The electronic dog leash. I remember that. Question by Ed. Okay, I got that question. Let me go down here real quick and see if there's any other questions that I'm being. Okay, no. All right. So now people are going. Let me see if they're answering some of these. Yeah, 53 is a boomer. Yep. Hook, you were born in 53? Heinz 57. Okay, Diane. So you were born in 57, or that's your age? Because you'll always be behind 57 if you were born in 57. Oops. I jumped down a whole bunch. My mouse skipped. Here we go. Marianne or Lovey? AJ. Well, it depends. Is Lovey, is it her money or is it his money? That's the question. The professor, yeah, 100%. The women love the professor. There is no other yeah, Marianne, Verdi, yeah, Marianne. Yep, wholesome, exactly right. Ginger's high maintenance and a total leap. Okay, so you guys, yeah, okay, I'm not, you're all ahead of me here. I don't really watch enough anime to know any anime characters. I'm sorry, Verdi. My sons might have an answer to that. Bonnie Lee, I love their blooming onions. What are you referring to? Oh, Outback Steak. Yeah, the blooming onions. Those are amazing. Oh, yeah, dang it! It's like now I got another coronavirus craving. I'm dying for some fresh sushi. Oh, did you already get the guitar stand, Dan? That's awesome. What is it ever? Mrs. Howell. That's who Lovey is. Yeah, Mrs. Howell. Yeah, Pepper, you're low maintenance. My wife is the lowest maintenance. Oh my gosh. You know, if I'd married anybody else, I probably, I don't know what, I wouldn't be doing music for a living. She was so patient, waiting for that. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Careful with that bass line. Yeah, I know, right, Frankie? It's just like crazy. More cowbell. Oh, is there a G? Oh yeah, the cowbell, the G, yeah, the SNL with have you ever seen the video of I think it's on, is it Tonight Show, where it's the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers who looks exactly exactly like Will Ferrell. It's just crazy. Hey Darth, sorry, we're totally not talking about, but I will. Yeah, I doubt we'll talk about Dad tomorrow, but who knows? I mean, I talked about it a little bit, but not much. You want to make a Marvin Gaye cover album with just different lyrics and talks about about his family, exactly, 100%. It's just like Marvin Gaye. If he was alive, he wouldn't have done any of that. I know. I just know. For one thing, he would still have a career, be making money. These hangers-ons that clearly, and I'm besmirching the family name right now, but clearly they haven't gone out and gotten a job of their own. Go out and get a job and let people enjoy his music and pay tribute to it. Yeah. Now you have the Ginger Marianne. Okay. The tougher one is Jeannie or Samantha. Jeannie or Samantha. That's the other one. Now, I'm sure there are these questions for women. We got a lot of women here, so they're all the ones on the live chat. There's probably quite, I know it's like Gilligan or Skipper that it's like, no, just no. Pepper's saying Samantha. Yeah, Jim, that's a tougher one, huh? I have an opinion. I mean, I definitely have a favorite. Oh, Bond, you're trying to learn ETA? Love your playing on it. Great song. Can you do a lesson on it? I might at some point. Actually, I might at some point. I won't be able to monetize it. And to be honest, that ETA was, I'd have to learn it because ETA was originally about a 5-minute track that I sent, and it got edited, and it's not a loop. As you listen to it, you can tell, Bond, that it's not a loop. Yeah, Skipper's a good guy though. See, Bruce is saying Jeannie, Hook is saying Samantha. All women are pretty. It's just that some barely made it. Oh my goodness. Fonzie for the win. Okay. Although he's kind of short, Bonnie, I think, right? But Bonnie on the ETA thing. So what Phil Boudreau did, a great producer. He produced he's one of the producers on the track, and he took my 5-minute kind of jam that I did, and he went, okay, that sounds like a verse hook, and that sounds like a chorus hook, and he chopped it up into sections and then put them in order. So he reordered everything, and like I said, I was just kind of playing and tracking something, an idea, and I just kept it going. I think the original idea is about 5 minutes long. I still have the original track for that, and then and then Phil kind of chopped it up. So I'd actually have to, as far as like playing it in the exact order, there's basic chords to it that that are the same chords the whole time. That is pseudo loopy, but okay. Gladys Kravitz. What's that from? Height don't matter. Okay, well, that's good. Short guys are happy for that. My wife is 5'10", so she had a guy that was really, really into her, but he was like 5'7", and she just wasn't going to date a guy that was shorter than her. And he tried everything. He even showed up at our wedding and gave me the stink eye. Just like, did we invite him? I don't remember inviting him, but anyway. But what did Bonnie say? Yeah. Let's see. So Bond, I hope that. No, and that's fine, Bond. You know what? I probably will do. I'm always trying to. Maybe when this coronavirus thing is over, I'll do a lesson for ETA. There's a lot of people up there. There's one guy that's done it pretty good. He got pretty close, and I told him, and he freaked out. He's like, "Oh my god, I love your playing." So, but yeah, it's basic chords, but there are certain things I did on it. Like it's cool because I'm doing like flat nines and sharp fives. There's even, I think, a sharp 9 in it at one point. There's a diminished chord. I mean, I'm never afraid to bring those jazz elements. And when I was asked to, the camp contacted me and said, "Hey, can you come up with some kind of pseudo gospely R&B stuff?" That's one of the ideas I sent them. And so that's, the guy that's in, Bond, the guy that's in, he's not Australian. I think he's from New Zealand. I can't remember if he's Australian or New Zealand, but he did a pretty good version of it. He got it pretty close. As far as doing the entire song, that may take a while. Let's see, Bewitched, Noisy. That's Kravis. Boy, AJ, you know your TV characters. Yes, Gladys. Oh my gosh. Lenny Kravitz is my man. Lenny Kravitz. Let's see. Yes, at 5'10", you're taller than most Frenchmen. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Frasier. Oh, Frasier, like from Cheers. Yeah, I don't know if there's a Cheers. Well, Sam maybe, but what would be this? Sam or? Yeah, it would be tough. Let's see. Yeah, Bonnie doesn't have that problem. Yeah, it's totally. I made it. Yeah, I didn't, play anything too difficult. Oh, Hook, you're 6'3". So yeah, most girls are shorter. Yeah. Well, Tommy, you better date a tall girl. Tommy and Hook, you better date tall girls. All the tall girls are like, why do the tall guys always date short girls? It's like, it's so mad. I'm like, dang it, there goes another tall guy. It's like, because a girl that's 5'10" is kind of short to you, Tommy. It's like, but then you see some 6'4" guy dating some, 4'2" or 5'2", not 4'2", 5'2" girl, and it's like, it almost looks twice as tall. All right, we totally got off the subject here. Everybody's having fun there. So did we come up with a consensus on the? Yeah, Steely Dan's great for that, jazz chords. And it's funny because a lot of Steely Dan songs the chords aren't that jazzy. It's just how they use the chords and change keys and stuff too. I mean, there's jazz chords in there too, but sometimes like Kid Charlemagne just pretty much major and minor chords, maybe some seventh chords in there. But there's a sharp 9 chord. Tommy likes short girls. Dang it. Tall girls are like, dang it, Tommy, date. I'm like 5'11" and a half, I think. I'm probably 5'11" now over time. So Beth is just like an inch shorter than me, although she's shorter than she was when we met. Can I make a playlist of? I actually did, but for me, I never thought about making it public, Bond. Yeah, I actually have been doing that with songs that I wrote, and I think songs that I played on. I mean, there's probably 10 tracks that I played on of Bieber's. I mean, some of them are just going to be like acoustic versions of his electric, his main songs. I played some of those, but like Home to Mama, which is no longer on Spotify. And then Yellow Raincoat. So Ben's taking off. Bye, Ben. Oh yeah, I did I give you something specific? Here's the work on this if you can. All right, we're going to add to this. So tomorrow I'm probably, well, you know what? I'm going to scan this now as is, and then I'm just going to use this and I'm going to add, because we're just going to add notes here and here and here and here and here and here, and we'll get that pinch. Okay, hopefully get that pinch going. Okay, now, all right. So we're gonna. Hook loves all the girls. Hook's easy to please. And gravity, yeah, gravity is a drag. I was tired walking to get my Starbucks. Beth got up early because it's so hot here. She got up early to do her 10,000 steps. So I got up and went to Starbucks, and I was like dragging. There's got to be a story here. It cracks me up that the guy who showed up at your wedding. Oh, yeah, no names, but he probably was invited. I think he was on staff with Campus Crusade. Beth was on staff with Campus Crusade before we got married, and then she had to quit because I didn't join staff, so she couldn't be married to someone not on staff. And there's a reason why they did that. I don't know if that's still the rule now. That was, keep in mind, over 30 years ago. The main reason they did that was because staff members have to raise support, and it's really hard to raise support from people. Poor people are sending you money, maybe $5 a month or $10 a month, and your husband's a neurosurgeon making, $1 million a year. It's kind of hard to justify raising money, raising support. So I don't know if that's the reason, but trying to practice every day with the goal of buying a Martin HD 35. That's what this is, by the way, Tommy. And someone told me the reason it's called a 35 is because the 3 stands for the fact that the back is 3 pieces. So if you look at a 28 is 2 pieces, has a line down the middle, and it has 2 pieces of wood. This is a 70s one, and it's pretty beat up. This thing was very abused, and I got my tuning to the E strings down to D sharp. I may have to write a song with that today. I love that tuning. Always do. Always have. Let's see. Yeah, it's a great goal. Just have a couple of yard sales. Get rid of some junk. You'd be surprised what people will pay for some of your junk, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. We're coming up on 2 hours here. So, yeah. So Ed, I don't remember who invited him. Well, Beth must have invited him because he was her friend, and that's he was in the friend zone. He couldn't get out of the friend zone, so he showed up, but he didn't live in Indiana, so he must have driven. But I'm like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking she's gonna like pull what was the movie, The Graduate? She's gonna pull a Graduate and run. I think he probably thought that was gonna happen. I don't know, because I mean, I know Beth's parents were like, you're marrying a musician. So, here, Kathy, Diane, I got a story. Okay. Diane who's asking for a story. Okay. Quick story. So when you get married, they take out an ad in the local paper, and it's like, so in Indianapolis, there was an ad. I guess my mom took it out, not an ad, an announcement, in the local paper. And do you pay for that? I don't know. I didn't pay for it, but my mom, that says, the Strahles and the Hamptons or whatever, what it was, a poor family. So Beth, it has everybody's name in it and everything. And so Strahle is kind of an unusual name. So they did the same thing in the Greencastle newspaper, which is where Beth was from. And the funny thing about that announcement, the editor of the newspaper in Beth's hometown also had a crush on Beth, and he put our picture, this was our engagement announcement, right next to a Dear Abby that said, "Dear Abby, my Prince Charming's breath stinks," and my face, Beth and I were right there next to it. It was like, this guy was like not very subtle about his expressing his displeasure that this woman he pined for was getting married to someone else. But the other one was, so, your name's in the paper. My last name's very unusual. Someone calls my mom and says that I owe them $50,000 for drugs. And if somebody doesn't pay, that they're going to kill me. Okay. And it said in the ad that I was a musician. And from LA. So they probably took it as some kind of opportunity, like, oh, this guy's a musician from LA. He probably does a lot of cocaine. Well, in the 80s, that might have been true, but but that was like, my mom was like, she calls me, Tom, I got an interesting phone call today. And I was like, really? They said that? I'm like, well, just ignore them. So nothing happened, but let's see, a musician, no less. Exactly. This is the 70s, and I knew it was in the tuning. That's not quite right, but the intonation on this one isn't bad. Although my guitar tech has refretted it once, we're going to have him do it again. So he adjusted it last time, but this one was it was a lefty. It turned into a righty, and actually I think they did the intonation fix on it because this has been adjusted. So I think this one had the fix on. I only paid $1,100 for that, but it was pretty abused. And my guitar tech, I probably spent $400 or $500 getting it kind of up to speed. The post for Tale of My. Oh, you're making a kit LP. That's dope. I hope the Travis pattern doesn't take longer, David. Gary, what's the difference between a musician and a pizza? A pizza can feed a family of 4 at least once. What do you call a guitar player without a girlfriend? Homeless. Oh yeah, Bob's got a D28. Those are great. Yeah, you can sell. Yeah, just sneak up behind a bunch of Girl Scouts selling cookies, and you just take their boxes. You could do that. They're not paying attention. They're just too busy looking like, oh, hey, buy a cookie. You just grab the boxes behind them. They'll never see you. Let's see. My retirement gift to myself will be a veneered X30 from Emerald. I'm not sure what that is, Gary, but you can post a pic maybe. Okay, let's see what else. Well, I'm going to sign off here in a second. Bob. Yes. And I do want to get another acoustic. I'm just kind of trying to find the right one. Hey, I just ordered a bowed psaltery today, which is a weird, like it's triangle shaped. It's just a bunch of strings and you bow the strings. And the bow is kind of made, I think, just with a regular string with rosin on it. It's not like hair or anything like that. And it's great. It's made in Indiana, like in the rural Indiana. And I'm also ordered I have a dulcimer, a lap dulcimer, Appalachian dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, but I don't have a chromatic one. The one I have is a diatonic one. So I want a chromatic one. So I ordered, they're making one. It's going to take about 6 weeks. So I ordered one of those too. Exactly. You have no kids or wife or anything, so it's not too hard to save. Is it? No, it's made in Nashville, Indiana. But I know a Napanee. A lot of I'm touching my face, so I'll take a drink. It's one of the rules of our drinking game. There are a lot of Indian names in Indiana. There's a lot of names of cities in Indiana that are like other places. Like there's Peru, Indiana, and Brazil, Indiana, and Mexico, Indiana. There's Lebanon, Indiana. I've always said it's everyone in Indiana wants to live somewhere else. So they just change their city name and then they live. Well, I live in Peru. Yeah. I live in Lebanon. There's a name. We were driving through a small town on the way home from Michigan one time. We were driving back to Greencastle from Michigan, and we drove through a town called Smartsville. And I said, Beth, you know why they call it Smartsville? And she goes, no, why? I said, because it hurts to live there. Trying to do rim shot, just cannon drums. That's all I got. All right, Warsaw. That's right, Warsaw, Poland. Yeah, exactly. Warsaw, Indiana. Oh, there's so many. There's a lot of towns with the word green in it too, like Greenwood, Greencastle, Greenbrier. South Bend. I was born in South Bend, Jim. I was born across the street from. Notre Dame at the hospital there. Community hospital, I think. That's a safe bet anyway. All right, so we're going to take off tomorrow. We're going to continue on the Travis pattern, and I'll post this up. I'm going to scan it. I may not post it today. Well, we'll see. I could do tab, but I really want you to try to just see that all that's written here are 3 notes. These bottom 3 notes of this C7 chord, and then the bottom 3 notes of this G7 chord. So really, that's the lowest one. That's the 3rd lowest. That's the 2nd lowest. That's the 3rd lowest, so on and so forth. So you should be able to kind of read that. Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. God bless. Bye-bye.